Look at these two machines. To the untrained eye, they're both Jeeps. They both have 7 slots in the grille, they both have removable doors, and they both promise freedom. But here is the terrifying reality for a beginner. If you buy the Rubicon for your daily commute, you are paying for a heavy-duty tank that will vibrate your coffee out of the cup holder every morning. And if you buy the Sahara for the mountains, you might find yourself stranded in a canyon with a snapped axle and a $2,000 recovery bill. I am your YouTube Jeep coach, and today we aren't just looking at stickers. We are going deep into the mystery switch that separates the pros from the pretenders. We are talking about the 2026 transmission shifts, the hidden costs of death wobble prevention, and why the cheaper Jeep might actually be the more expensive one to own over 5 years. By the end of this 4,000-word masterclass, you won't just know which Jeep to buy, you'll know more than the salesman at the dealership. Let's get into the $10,000 secret. The philosophy of the Wrangler. Before we touch a single bolt, we have to talk about identity. Jeep didn't create these trims by accident. They created them because there are 2 types of Jeep owners. The Sahara, the civilized adventurer. The Sahara is the Goldilocks of the Jeep world. It's designed for the person who loves the aesthetic of the Jeep, the wind in your hair, the open-air freedom, but still lives a modern digital life. In 2026, the Sahara has evolved. It's no longer just a fancy Wrangler. It's a legitimate alternative to a luxury SUV. It's for the beginner who wants to drive to work from Monday to Friday, but hit a trail on Saturday morning to reach a hidden trailhead or a beach. The Rubicon, the mechanical mountain goat. The Rubicon is a tool. It is not a fashion statement, though many people use it as one. It is built for technical off-roading. That means rocks, deep mud, fallen trees, and inclines that would make a normal SUV flip over. When you buy a Rubicon, you aren't paying for the leather seats or the infotainment. You are paying for the iron and steel underneath the frame. The beginner's trap. Most beginners think, I want the best one, so I'll buy the Rubicon. But best is subjective. If you buy a Formula One car to drive to the grocery store, is it the best car? No, it's a nightmare. We need to find out if the Rubicon is your dream car or your daily nightmare. The mechanical soul. What's under the floorboards? Let's get technical. Don't let the jargon scare you. I'm going to break this down so simply that you could explain it to your grandmother. Number 1, the axles. Dana 30 versus Dana 44. The Sahara comes with a Dana 30 front axle. For a beginner, this is perfectly fine for dirt roads and snow. However, the Rubicon comes with heavy-duty Dana 44s in the front and rear. Why does this matter? Imagine the axle is a pencil. If you try to snap a thin pencil, Dana 30, while turning a heavy wheel over a rock, it will break. The Dana 44 is like a thick marker. It can take the stress. 2026 update. In the 2026 Rubicon, they've introduced a full-float rear axle. This is technology taken straight from heavy-duty pickup trucks. It means the weight of the Jeep is carried by the axle tube, not the shaft itself. If you're a beginner planning on putting massive 37-inch tires on your Jeep, the Rubicon is the only choice. If you keep it stock, the Sahara's axles are lighter, which gives you better fuel economy. Number 2, the transfer case. Rock track versus command track. This is where the magic happens. Every Wrangler is 4WD, but they don't all use 4WD the same way. The Sahara, command track. It has a 2.72 to 1 low-range gear ratio. This is great for slippery boat ramps or sandy beaches. The Rubicon, rock track, has a 4 to 1 low-range gear ratio. This is crawl power. In 4 low, the Rubicon moves at a snail's pace, but with enough torque to pull a house down. For a beginner, this makes off-roading easier because the Jeep does the work for you. You don't have to floor the gas, you just let the gears walk you over obstacles. Number 3, the mystery buttons. lockers, and sway bars. Inside the Rubicon, there is a red toggle switch. This controls the locking differentials. In a Sahara, if one wheel is in the air, it spins uselessly, while the wheel on the ground does nothing. In a Rubicon, you lock the axle, forcing both wheels to turn together. The beginner's warning. If you engage these on dry pavement and try to turn, you will snap your drivetrain. This is why the Rubicon requires a higher IQ to operate safely. The Sahara, on the other hand, often comes with Select Track, a full-time 4WD system. This is the set-it-and-forget-it mode. It works like an all-wheel drive car. For a beginner in a rainy or snowy city, Select Track is actually a much safer and more useful feature than lockers. The 2026 engine debate: electric, turbo, or V6? In 2026, Jeep has streamlined the powertrain options. This is a huge part of your decision. The 2.0-liter turbo, the Sahara favorite. This engine is a masterpiece of modern engineering. It produces 270 HP and 295 pound-feet of torque. Because it's a turbo, that torque is available almost instantly. It makes the Sahara feel light. If you're weaving through traffic or merging onto a highway, the Sahara with the 2.0 is significantly more fun to drive than the old-school Wranglers. The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, the old reliable. The V6 is the old reliable. It produces 285 HP, but less torque, 260 pound-feet. Why do off-roaders love it? Because it's naturally aspirated. There is no turbo lag. When you're on a dangerous ledge, you want a linear power delivery. You press the pedal 10%, you get 10% power. With a turbo, you might get a sudden surge that pushes you off the trail. The 4xe Hybrid, the game changer. For 2026, the 4xe is available on both. It offers 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Sahara 4xe, you get 21+ miles of all-electric range. You can commute to work without using a drop of gas, all while having a silent, premium interior. Rubicon 4xe, the electric motors provide instant torque. This is incredible for off-roading because you can crawl over rocks in total silence. You can hear the birds, the wind, and the sound of your tires gripping the dirt. The cost analysis. The 4xe is more expensive up front, but in many regions, the tax credits and fuel savings make it the smartest choice for a beginner. However, if you live in a remote area without chargers, stick to the gasoline 2.0. The livability factor, interior and tech. You're going to spend thousands of hours inside this cabin. Let's look at where your money goes. The Sahara, the Lexus of Jeeps. The 2026 Sahara interior is stunning. We are talking about 12-way power-adjustable seats, which are now water-tested for when you leave the top off in the rain. Acoustic laminated glass. Jeep added this to the Sahara to reduce wind noise. It is significantly quieter than the Rubicon. Soft touch materials. The dashboard isn't just hard plastic, it's wrapped in premium materials with stitching that matches the body color. The Rubicon, the mission control. The Rubicon is more rugged. The seats are designed to hold you in place when the Jeep is tilted at a 30-degree angle. You get the auxiliary switch bank, which allows you to plug in light bars, winches, and air compressors without cutting into your factory wiring. The downside, the Rubicon comes with mud-terrain tires. These tires have huge gaps in the tread to move mud. On the highway, those gaps create a loud drone sound. If you have sensitive ears or like listening to podcasts, the Rubicon's road noise can be a deal breaker for a beginner. Off-roading for beginners. Does the Sahara fail? I want to debunk a huge myth right now. Many people will tell you, if you don't buy a Rubicon, you can't go off-roading. That is a lie. The Sahara is more capable than 95% of the other SUVs on the road. It has a high ground clearance, a rugged 4WD system, and great approach angles. Where the Sahara shines, beach driving, sand, fire roads, green and blue trails, easy to moderate, and heavy snow. Where the Sahara struggles, large boulders, rock crawling, and deep axle-deep mud. If you're a beginner, you probably shouldn't be doing black diamond rock trails in your first month anyway. By the time you are skilled enough to need the Rubicon's features, you might have already decided you prefer the Sahara's comfort. Don't buy capability you aren't ready to use. The hidden financial costs. Let's talk about your wallet. This is the part the dealership won't tell you. Insurance. Generally, the Rubicon is more expensive to insure. Insurance companies know that Rubicon owners are more likely to take their vehicles into dangerous situations. Fuel economy. The Sahara is more aerodynamic, it sits slightly lower, and has smoother tires. You will likely see 2 to 3 more miles per gallon in a Sahara. Over 100,000 miles, that's thousands of dollars in your pocket. Resale value. The Rubicon is the king of resale value. It is one of the slowest depreciating vehicles in the world. If you buy a Rubicon for $60,000 today, it might still be worth $45,000 in 5 years. The Sahara also holds its value, but not quite at the legendary level of the Rubicon. Which should you choose first? It all comes down to this. Buy the Sahara if you want the coolest convertible on the market, you live in a city or suburb, and you want a vehicle that feels premium inside. It is the smarter, more logical choice for 90% of beginners. Buy the Rubicon if you have a burning desire to conquer the wilderness. If you look at a pile of rocks and think, "I want to drive over that," then nothing else will satisfy you. Just be prepared for the noise, the stiffer ride, and the extra cost. Regardless of what you choose, you are joining the Jeep family. Don't forget to wave at other Jeep owners. It's the law. Next step for you? If you found this breakdown helpful, I've created a Jeep Beginner's Inspection Checklist for when you visit the dealership. Would you like me to walk you through that checklist and show you exactly what to look for on the window sticker to ensure you aren't being overcharged? Click the video on the screen now to see the 5 dealer scams to avoid when buying a 2026 Jeep.